Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade, it's more like advanced. I'm writing for high schools, but we're going to focus on grade 8 English lesson on sentences, fragments, and run ons. All right, so we said that we are doing grade 8 advanced writing on sentences, fragments, and run ons. Once we have gone to sentences, fragments, and run-ons, we're going to a+students.ca and we're going to select the subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 8, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of sentences, fragments, and run-ons. So sentences, fragments, and run-ons. All right, so we see that we are doing sentences, fragments, and run-ons. And our chapter is sentences, fragments, and run-ons. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 8 advanced writing. And our lessons that we are going to be focusing on under our chapter of sentences, fragments, and run-ons. We need to say, is it a complete sentence or fragment? Or we need to say, is it a complete sentence or a run-on? All right. So now when it comes to sentences, fragments, and run-ons, right? All right. So when it comes to a sentence, right? A sentence is a group of words that forms a complete thought. So it is a group of words. All right. So we now need to say, is it a complete sentence or fragment, or if it is a sentence or a run on. And if we look at the first one, and we see the sentence is a group of words that forms a complete thought. A sentence, it has both a subject. All right, and if we look at an example, right, of a sentence, it says, my friends walk along the path. My friends walk along the path. All right, and then we said we have a sentence fragment, and a sentence fragment is a group of words that does not express a complete thought. It doesn't express a complete thought. And the reason why it does not express a complete thought because it's either missing a subject, missing a verb, or missing an adjective. Sorry, either missing a subject, a verb, or a helping verb. All right. And we made an example of a sentence fragment. Yeah, where we say, know this answer. Know the answer. If we look at that sentence, remember we said a fragment is either missing a subject, a verb, or a helping verb. All right. And remember we said with the sentence fragment, it's either missing a subject in this case, and then it's also missing a noun or a subject. It can either missing a verb or it is missing a helping verb. So now, if we look at the next one, it says the bright red car. The bright red car. What do you think is missing within that sentence? The bright red car. All right. And if we specifically look at the bright red car, The question is, what is the bright red car doing? So there is no verb. All right. So we said once again that a sentence is a group of words that forms a complete thought, and it has both subject and it has a verb. That is a completed sentence. All right. So we need to, for example, add our words that are missing in order to show a completed sentence. Right? We need to show that completed sentence. Like, for example, adding our subjects, our verbs, as well as our helping verbs. All right. So now we're going to a+students.ca. We're going over what a sentence is, what a fragment is, and we're going to answer those questions on the lesson. Is it a complete sentence or fragment, or is it a complete sentence or run on? All right. So we're now by a+students.ca. Is it a complete sentence or a fragment? Is it a complete sentence or a fragment? All right. And we said, remember, a sentence is a group of words that forms a complete thought. A sentence has both subject and it has a verb, whereas a sentence fragment is a group of words that does not express a thought. It is missing either a subject, missing verb, or helping verb. All right. So now we're going to, before we go to our test, right? Remember, we said that a sentence is a group of words that forms a complete thought, and it has a subject and it has a verb, right? With a fragment, right, it's missing a subject, it's missing a verb, or it is missing a helping verb, right? All right, and then we said we have a sentence fragment, which is a group of words that does not express a complete thought. It is either missing a subject, a verb, or a helping verb. All right, so now let's go to our test. We are now going to say, is this a sentence fragment? We need to say if it's a sentence fragment. And we need to say which is a sentence fragment. Is it option one? News reporters alerted everyone in the area to the approaching tornado. Or option two, wiped the sweat from her brow after sprinting across the finish line. All right. The next one says, which is a sentence fragment? We said, oh, we didn't even choose the one. Is it option one, news reports alerted everyone in the area to the approaching tornado? Or option two, wiped the sweat from her brow after sprinting across the finish line? Oh gosh, I chose the wrong one. Yeah. All right, and that one is correct. The next one says, which is a complete sentence? We now need to say which one is a complete sentence. Is it option one, electric eels stun prey with an intense electrical charge? Or option two, Pamela fulfilling her dream of hiking to the top of Mount St. Helens? All right, and we need to select the completed sentence. Is it option one, electric eels stun prey with an intense electrical charge? Or option two, Pamela fulfilling her dream of hiking to the top of St. Helens? So it's the completed sentence has subject and it has a verb. It says electric eels stun prey with an intense electric charge, or Pamela fulfilling a dream of hiking to the top of Mount Helens. All right. So we said it is option one, which is a completed sentence. So well done. Option one is great. The next one is which is a completed sentence? In option one, it says in August 2012, the Curiosity overland the Curiosity rover landed on Mars. Or option two, my parents' business flourishing thanks to the online advertising. All right. And if we were to choose the correct option that shows a completed sentence, and we chose option one. All right. The next one is which is a completed sentence? Option one, at dawn, the sailors hoisted the cargo into the ship. Or option two, the undercover agent still investigating that strange case. All right, so we need to select a completed sentence. Is it option one, at dawn, the sailors hoisted the cargo into the ships? All right, and if we were to choose the sentence that shows a completed sentence, and then we can say, at dawn, the sailors hoisted the cargo into the ship. All right, so now we're going to go on to the next one, which is either a complete sentence or a run on. Completed sentence or a run on sentence. And we see that when it comes to a run on sentence, right, it is made up of, of two independent clauses that is joined without in punctuation or with just a comma. All right. And we said that when it comes to run on sentences, it is made up of two independent clauses. All right. So once again, we see the run-on sentence is made up of two independent clauses that is joined without an end punctuation, or it is joined with just a comma. That is a run-on sentence, and we can fix a run-on sentence, or so you can also fix a run-on sentence by rewriting it as a compound subject or compound sentence. And a compound sentence, it is made up of two independent clauses joined by a comma and a coordinating conjunction. All right. So now we're going to look at this activity. We need to say which one is a run on sentence. It says the restaurant in the vicinity is expensive. We can't afford them. If you look at that sentence, then this whole sentence is correct. It is not, basically, it should be there. So the restaurants in the vicinity are expensive. Ezra can't afford them. All right, let us go to our test where we are going to say it's a complete sentence, or is it a run on? We need to say which is a run on sentence. Run on sentence. Is it option one? Cassie is an adept skier. She has trained for many years. All right, so we need to say is it a complete sentence or a run on? Which is a run on sentence? Option one, Cassie is an adept skier. She has trained for many years. Or we go to option two, which is red green color blindness affects far more men than women. So option one or option two, we need to choose the run-on sentence. All right, and if we were to select our run-on sentence, right, we'll choose option one. Yes, because that is two sentences, but it is not joined by any punctuation marks. The next one says, which is a complete sentence? So, which is a complete sentence? A leap year typically occurs every 4 years. Or do we say, let's spruce up this room? New drapes would be an improvement. And if we were to choose, if it's a complete sentence, then we'll go with option one. The next one says, all right, so we need to say, is it a complete sentence? Option one says, multiplying fractions and decimals isn't hard. I can show you how. Then we have option two, the suspect forfeited his right to a trial by jury. All right, we need to say which is a completed sentence. A completed sentence. Is it option one, multiplying fractions and decimals isn't hard? I can show you. All right. We now need to say which one is a complete, sorry, sentence. Which one is a complete sentence? Option one, multiplying fractions and decimals isn't hard. I can show you. All right. So now we're going to, oh, sorry, going to continue where we say, which is the complete sentence? Guys, I apologize. Is it multiplying fractions and decimals isn't hard? I can show you how. Or we say the suspect forfeited the right by trial by jury. So we need to choose the correct option to show which one is a complete sentence. A complete sentence. And if we were to choose the complete sentence, right? Remember, a complete sentence has a subject and it has a verb. And if we choose the correct option, yes, we'll choose option 2. All right, the next one says, which is a complete sentence? The macaroni dish tastes rather bland. Pass the salt, please. Option 1. Or is it option 2? Is it lesions flourish in some of the most extreme environments on earth? We need to say which is a complete sentence. A complete sentence. So we need to say which one is a complete sentence. A complete sentence. And if we were to select the correct option, we would say the completed sentence is option 2. All right. The next one says, which is a completed sentence? Option 1, we'll varnish these old oak floors. They need to be sanded first. So we need to say which one is a complete sentence. Is it option 1, we'll varnish these old oak floors. They need to be sanded first. Or do we say option 2, the windows in the kitchen vibrated during yesterday's mild earthquake? We need to say which one is correct. Option 1 or option 2. And if we were to select the completed sentence, right? And then we'll go with the windows in the kitchen vibrated during yesterday's mild earthquake. All right, so we said when it comes to sentences, fragments, and run ons, right? In order for us to show a complete sentence, then it means that that sentence needs to have a subject and it needs to have a verb in order to show that it is a completed sentence. A fragment is not a completed sentence because it is either missing a verb, it's either missing a subject, or it is either missing an action verb, right? And then we have a run on sentence or run on sentences. Run on sentences, it is sentences where it is as two independent clauses within that one sentence, and it is not, there's no punctuation that basically separates it, or it is just basically separated with a comma. And with a run on sentence, with a run on sentence, we can separate it or fix it by adding our punctuation and then also by separating the two independent clauses. So the first independent clause, capitalize it, put the period, and then start the next one, capitalize, and then put the period to show that that is the two independent clauses that can stand on its own. All right, so this is the end of our lesson on sentences, fragments, and run ons. Thank you for joining the class. You should have a good day further. So, till next time, goodbye.